Hey there movie lovers, welcome back to Rocky Watches Movies. Today we're stepping into the spotlight with the new biographical drama, Michael. This film dives into the extraordinary life and legacy of the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, charting his rise to global superstardom and the complexities behind the music. But how much do you really know about what went on into bringing this legend to the big screen? So turn up the volume and let's moonwalk through 18 things you never knew about Michael. Following the box office success of his Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody, producer Graham King secured the rights to make a film about Jackson in 2019. And soon enlisted Oscar-nominated writer John Logan, who also wrote Gladiator and Skyfall, to pen the script. King spent several years developing the project, conducting hundreds of interviews with people who had known Jackson, as he worked to distill the performer's life into a single film. Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, earned the role on merit, not just because he's a nepo baby. Lionsgate conducted an extensive search for a young actor capable of embodying the King of Pop, only to realise the ideal choice had been right in front of them all along. Graham King said it was something so powerful that even after conducting a worldwide search, it was clear that Jafar is the only person to take on this role. The original script for Michael did, as producer Graham King had promised, address the child abuse allegations against the singer. However, the team later realised that for legal reasons, this version could never reach the screen. One scene depicted the King of Pop staring at his reflection, his sorrowful expression illuminated by flashing police lights. Set in 1993, a decade after Thriller dominated popular culture, it showed the moment Jackson was first accused of child molestation. Another sequence in which investigators arrive at Neverland Ranch to search for evidence was among several ultimately discarded. The film had initially been intended to explore the impact of the allegations on Jackson's life, with much of its third act devoted to the scandal. That entire storyline, however, was removed, along with any reference to the accusations. This followed a late discovery by the Jackson Estate's legal team, who identified a clause in a settlement with one of the accusers, Jordan Chandler, prohibiting any depiction or mention of him in a film. A spokesperson for production house Lionsgate confirmed that reams of footage had to be scrapped because it violated the agreement. As a result, the filmmakers were forced to return to the drawing board and devise a new ending. Although the original script included events surrounding the allegations, rather than offering any real scrutiny of the star or even a balanced perspective, the initial script reportedly went to great lengths to exonerate its subject, portraying him as the victim of a shakedown by the family of the first child to come forward, Jordan Chandler. Not surprising, as the film was being produced by his family members and estate. Because of the scrapped ending, the production was forced into a swift and costly rethink. Cast and crew reconvened for an intensive 22-day reshoot, adding around $15 million to the budget, as the filmmakers worked under pressure to reshape the film. The set builders on Michael truly earned their keep. Restoring the theme park at Jackson's Neverland Ranch was only the beginning of an ambitious undertaking. They went on to painstakingly recreate the Tower Records store on the Sunset Strip as it appeared during the release of Off the Wall, capturing the look and atmosphere of the era. They also rebuilt the Toys R Us branch where Michael Jackson was known for his exuberant trolley dashes, ensuring each location felt authentic and alive. Authenticity was key for the Michael wardrobe department, having snapped up hundreds of the star's auctioned outfits, including the Thriller jacket. Lady Gaga loaned them to the shoot in exchange for a set visit. To look at him only through the film, Michael appears to have only one sister, LaToya. Janet, the second most successful of the Jackson siblings, neither appears nor is even mentioned, and the same is true of their sister Rebby. Brother Randy is also absent, as is half-sister Giovanni Jackson, whose mother had a 25-year affair with Joe Jackson. Screenwriter John Logan explained that certain people in the family weren't interested in talking, and that was fine. They didn't want to be represented or dramatised in the movie. One major scene in Michael quite literally followed in his footsteps. California's Union Pacific Avenue had a group of precisely choreographed zombies in action. Jafar Jackson said that recreating the Thriller video was one of the most memorable moments for him, especially as filming took place from sunset to sunrise over 2 nights, at the exact location where Michael originally shot it in East LA. Jackson's pet chimpanzee makes a memorable appearance, but what may come as a surprise is that Bubbles is still alive, well, and enjoying a relaxed life at Florida's Center for Great Apes. Now 43 years old, the chimp is described by his keepers as artistic, gentle, and shy. Jackson's inner circle played a significant role behind the scenes. His attorney, John Branca, and the estate's senior executive, Karen Langford, were both consulted on key production decisions, helping to guide the film's direction. Meanwhile, his son Prince, who served as an executive producer, maintained a constant presence on set. In contrast, Jackson's other 2 children, BG and Paris, had little to no involvement in the project. Michael's daughter Paris did, however, publicly address the project after actor Coleman Domingo, who portrays Jackson patriarch Joe, stated that Paris and her brother Prince were very much in support of our film. While that may well have applied to Prince, Paris was quick to clarify her own position. In a post on social media, she wrote, "Don't be telling people I was helpful on the set of a movie I had 0% involvement in, LOL. That is so weird. I read one of the first drafts of the scripts and gave my notes about what was dishonest / didn't sit right with me. And when they didn't address it, I moved on with my life. Not my monkeys, not my circus. God bless and Godspeed." Paris also took issue with the casting of Miles Teller as John Branca, the entertainment lawyer and manager, raising her concerns in a legal filing against the executors of her dad's estate, John Branca and John McClane. She argued that the decision put a portion of the estate's assets at risk, while also accusing Branca of viewing himself as central to the Michael Jackson story, and attempting to enrich and aggrandise himself through such an expensive casting choice. Just weeks before the release of Michael, members of the wider Jackson family gathered for a private screening, where Janet was reportedly very critical of the finished film. Apparently, she had something negative to say about almost every scene, taking issue with the acting, the makeup, the way the actors spoke, and even how they moved. It was described as a moment in which Janet stood apart from the rest of the room, making it clear the film did not meet her approval. Along with all the rewrites and reshoots, the film's path to release faced further disruption when the home of screenwriter John Logan was damaged in the Palisades fire. As a result of all the troubles, Michael, originally scheduled to arrive in cinemas on April the 18th, 2025, was first postponed to the 3rd of October before ultimately being pushed back again to April 2026. Michael broke records before it was even released. The film's trailer amassed over 116 million views within its first 24 hours, surpassing every other music, biopic or concert film teaser in history. It even eclipsed Taylor Swift The Eras Tour, which achieved a comparatively modest 96 million. The film covers events up to the late 80s. However, the later stages of his career included History and Invincible, as well as plans for the This Is It comeback shows at the time of his death in 2009. Lionsgate's Adam Fogelson noted that, while a second film has not been confirmed, the creative team is already working to ensure they are in a position to deliver more Michael in the future. Critical and public reactions to Michael have been notably divided. Some critics have praised the film's performances and production values, particularly its meticulous recreations of key moments in Jackson's career, while others have criticised it for sidestepping more controversial aspects of his life, arguing that it lacks balance and depth. Audience responses, meanwhile, have tended to be more favourable, with many viewers embracing the film as an entertaining portrayal of the King of Pop. This contrast has resulted in a clear split between critical scepticism and popular enthusiasm. What is clear is that if you're a fan of MJ's music, this is definitely worth watching on the big screen. And there you have it, folks. You now know a little bit more about Michael. If you enjoyed the video, which I presume you did as you got this far, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos coming to Rocky Watches Movies. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.